Hey guys.
Good morning.
I'm Emily from Cambridge in the UK.
And I'm Gabriel from Birmingham, which is also in the UK. And we are both at the Roma Ponte Lungo School. So we're here in Rome at the moment. If there's anyone there, if there are any students watching, please tell us your name and where you are.
And in this focus today, we are describing a place. Hi, Vincenzo.
Vincenzo. I've had Vincenzo a couple of times.
So in this focus activity, we have there are, modal verb can, describing a place, and prepositions. Florine,
hi. Milan. Yes, good. Okay. Where do you guys live? Good morning, Sabrina. Where do you guys live? Do we have a long list here of perhaps more detailed locations and geographical landscapes, I think, in a city, in the suburbs, in a town, in a village, in the countryside, in the mountains, by the sea, near. Hi, Juliana from Brazil.
Cool. So for this vocab, let's look at some of the differences here. So we've got this phrase here, in the suburbs. The suburbs are residential quarters out of the city centre. So if you live in the city centre of a town or a city, you don't live in the suburbs. If you live in the countryside, you don't live in the suburbs. But if you live in a residential quarter out of the city centre. And then we have these three here: in a city, in a town, in a village. From these three, which is the smallest? In a city, in a town, or in a village? Which one describes a small place? Hi, Elena and Pasquale. And Domenico.
Pasquale.
We've definitely met Pasquale before.
Yes. And we've had Domenico was on
And
yesterday,
Domenico,
I think, yeah. Okay. It's useful, I think, to pay attention to some of the articles that we have, the nouns here. So just for Florine, just to note, we say in the countryside. The countryside always takes the definite article. We always have the, we don't say a, because it just means the general, the land outside of the city. So we'd say the countryside. But yeah, I was born in the countryside. Nice.
Yeah, good.
Near.
Yeah.
Near.
And Florian has got the answer to what I asked. That a village is the smallest one. So a city is big, a town is medium, and a village is small.
Yeah, Juliana, the suburbs are a kind of subsection of a large city in that they're on the outskirts of the city. They're a kind of a smaller measurement they're a part of a city in a way.
Yeah.
Hi, Donatella. Donatella, I live in a town.
Very nice. In a village near Bari. Yeah, like Gabe was saying, guys, careful with your for Domenico also, careful with your I'm gonna sneeze. Ooh.
Careful while Emily sneezes. Be careful of your articles. We need, if we say a village or a town or a city, we always need the indefinite article. We always need a before. So I live in a town, I live in a village, I live in a city. Don't forget the indefinite article. And the same goes for the definite article with the suburbs, the countryside, the mountains.
Good stuff.
Great.
And you, Gabe?
I live in the suburbs of a city, of a large metropolitan city in some way, I guess.
Me too.
Yeah.
By
I
the
have
sea.
always lived in the suburbs of cities. Actually, London, I'm not even sure. London probably in the middle of the city somewhat. But.
Yeah. Yeah. And at the moment, we live in a city by the sea.
That's true. That's true.
And by, in this case, I guess means next to the sea. Francesco lives in a village near Bergamo. Bergamo is a beautiful town. I've visited a few times.
Where is? Oh no, I know. Oh yes.
It's near Milan.
I recall. Yes, it's the yes.
Okay.
Yes, Vincenzo. We live kind of in southeast Rome, I think, a little bit towards the southeast of Rome. I live in Pineto, a suburban area of Rome.
Yeah. And I live around Ponte Lungo, Tuscolana in Rome, near our school. Okay.
Nice.
So we've got some adjectives here. Match the opposites. So we'll start with number one, noisy. What is the opposite of noisy? So we have modern, quiet, boring, ugly, dirty, horrible, small. Okay, good, guys. Yeah.
Noisy, quiet. Yeah.
Very good. So we always need to point out with this word, this is a false friend. And you can maybe you can understand that it's a false friend if quiet is the opposite. Noisy and boring are not the same. The meaning is different. Noisy means, I don't know how to explain without just doing a demonstration.
Loud, really. It's of loud sounds, but too loud, isn't it, in a way?
Yeah.
Creating loudness.
Yeah. Okay, and then we've got lots of big, small, great.
Hello, Gabriella. Good morning, Giovanni.
The morning's always so busy.
They are.
Where are we? So
Yeah, it's like loud, Vincenzo. It's a little bit like
maybe he
loud.
doesn't, but maybe loud they don't know either. I'll do a little demonstration.
Okay, yeah.
Quiet means talking. Oh, you can just say low volume is quiet. I remember this is how I used it too.
I prefer your demonstration.
High volume is noisy or loud. So quiet also is not quite the same in Italian. It's different in Italian because in Italian it's similar to calm or tranquil, I think. In English, it just means low volume. Okay. Okay.
Nice.
So
we have some answers for nice. We have.
Yeah, we have a suggestion from Sabrina. And sometimes nice and ugly could be opposites because nice is a very general word. We could use it to mean aesthetically nice, and in which case ugly would be the opposite.
But ugly is a more specific word for just aesthetics, whereas nice is more general.
Yeah.
Ugly fits a description on the left column, which is more aesthetic. So nice, we have the suggestion from Domenico and I think Donatella as well. We have horrible.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because nice. Yeah. Because nice. Yeah. Well, like I was just going to repeat myself again. Nice and horrible. They're both quite general. They could be in a visual sense, visual or aesthetic. They could be to describe a person, someone's character. They could describe a meal. They could describe, yeah. Anyway, yeah, good. Over-explaining again.
Old, modern, excellent.
4, 8,
good.
Old, modern, good.
Got that across the board.
Clean.
Dirty. Good.
Great.
Interesting.
Yeah. And finally, beautiful and ugly. Yeah. Because beautiful is specifically for how something looks, the appearance. L'aspetto, the appearance.
Yeah, you don't just use it so much to describe things that you like and that are good or general. It has more of a specific aesthetic sense in English than I think it does in Italian.
It does.
The same goes for ugly as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, which of the adjectives on the left are similar to these words? So we have now, this was opposite, now we have some synonyms. So we're starting with cultural. Okay, well, we don't have, there isn't a synonym of cultural. What could, in fact, there aren't synonyms of lots of these. What could be similar? I think I see what they mean. So which of all of these 14 words, which one is similar to cultural? Oh, we've got, yeah.
Yeah, interesting, I think, yeah.
I think interesting, yeah. Yeah, Donatella, that's better, yeah. And Vincenzo suggested historical, which, I mean, those two things are often connected.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And we've got a couple of olds as well.
Yeah.
Potentially too, yeah.
Yeah. Good, okay. What
Exciting.
about exciting? I think
Raffaele.
is suggesting another word, other words which are similar, which is good. Big and huge. Similar. Huge means very big. And everyone should just practice the pronunciation with your TV.
Huge. It's quite a satisfying word to say.
It is, yeah.
Really emphasize your huge.
Yeah. And also it's a good
Sometimes-
chance to practice the ear as well. It's not huge, but huge, which is a very English thing that we do. I mean, not particular to the English language, not to England. Florine.
Exciting.
Hi, Carmela.
Hi, Carmela.
Where was the Florence one?
Exciting.
Modern and beautiful. I think modern could be. I think if you said a city was very modern, it probably means it's quite exciting.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
I think maybe beautiful is a little different though, because of what we were talking about before, that beautiful just describes what something is like aesthetically or visually. It doesn't describe an activity.
I think interesting as well. And Francesco's given as interesting as well. Something that's exciting could be interesting as well. Something that kind of draws you in. Yeah, exciting and interesting, definitely.
Yeah, I agree. Okay. Polluted. There's a clearer parallel here.
It could potentially be another one, I think, as well. From the obvious one.
Yeah. Juliana's got the obvious one.
Dirty, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I would say Yeah.
And we've got from Francesco as well, the one I was thinking a little bit noisy as well. You could say noise pollution.
Yeah.
I think could be.
Yeah. So the difference between polluted and dirty is that polluted usually refers to the air. When we talk about cities, a polluted city means the air is dirty, whereas a dirty city usually means not the air but the ground. So maybe there's a lot of rubbish on the ground. Yeah.
Chaotic. Yeah. Chaotic. What do we think for chaotic?
And horrible, actually. Juliana suggested horrible for polluted. And those two things could be connected.
Definitely, yeah. Noisy.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I think noisy is the best one.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
Actually, big, yeah.
Sometimes big, yeah.
Noisy and big, yeah. Okay. Historical. This is an easy one.
Yeah. Roma is big and chaotic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I think, is Carmela saying boring is a synonym of historical?
Potentially.
Okay, I like Florence. Florence got it, yeah. Donatella.
We have some opinion now, don't we? We have interesting and boring, depending on your viewpoint, which is nice too.
Yeah.
Historical means different things for different people, I think, in that sense.
Yeah.
Interesting, old, beautiful, yeah.
Okay. Very nice. Finally.
Crowded. Crowded.
So Vincenzo, for your sentence, that's nice. But we have to think about the articles again. An. I'm not sure what Florian's thinking.
I think that's still historical.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. So let me, Vincenzo. An is when we have a vowel. And in English, when we have an H, let me get it back up. Historical. With this H, we have to pronounce it. So a historical book. We don't say an historical book, but a historical book.
And for crowded, noisy.
Yeah.
Big, potentially.
Yeah.
Yeah, potentially dirty as well. Yeah.
Francesco said chaotic.
And chaotic. Yeah, that's a good point too.
Yeah. Yeah, good stuff. So crowded, I mean, the meaning of crowded, just in case anyone doesn't know. No, the H is not silent in historical.
In most English words, the H is always pronounced. So a hotel, a home. A historical journey. Yeah.
But good question. And you're right that to use an if we don't pronounce the H, but we usually do. And just for the meaning of crowded, crowded means a lot of people in a space. A big quantity of people. All together in a space.
Yep. So, moving on to describing some cities. What, as we have in the example here, what's London like? And the answer given, London is very big. London isn't boring. And pay attention to this question. When we ask what is a place like, or potentially what's a person like? Like in this sense is asking for a description of the characteristics of a place. It's asking for adjectives, effectively. It's not asking, do you like it? It's asking for a description.
Yeah. It's not a verb in this case. because we have what is London like.
Yeah.
So the verb is. London is noisy.
London is noisy. Excellent.
Definitely. Good.
We're on 19.
Oh, wow. That's
Quite
our
a big,
record.
yes, people do come on in the mornings, don't they?
Yeah.
It's a lot of activity just before lunchtime, I think, is the rush hour. London is big, modern, interesting, noisy. Fantastic. I agree with all of those.
Some negatives, guys. London isn't.
Donatello, yeah, good. It's big, chaotic, very nice. Watch out, don't miss out your, I don't know if that was a typo, Donatello, but we just want chaotic with the H in it in English. Yeah, chaotic. Absolutely.
Pasquale says Delhi isn't noisy. I wonder if Pasquale is still thinking of noisy meaning boring.
Purely because I haven't been to Delhi, but I'm sure that's not the case.
Yeah, and we can see in this picture, look at the big number of people.
Yeah.
I think Delhi is noisy.
Noisy.
I would say Delhi isn't quiet.
Yeah.
We've got some good stuff. I like Sabrina's. Yeah. London is very big and interesting. London is magic. It's wonderful.
It's magic. It's wonderful. Yeah.
That's really nice. Good adjectives. London is interesting. London isn't horrible.
Yes, London nice. We have a positive and a negative there, Gabriella. Nice. Yeah.
London isn't quiet or small. New York is very big and polluted. Is nice and it isn't quiet. So, Raffaele, your sentence is very good. But we need to be, you must always remember in English to use the adjective, the subject. Sorry. So New York is very big and polluted. It is nice and it isn't quiet. So we need the subject it here. But good stuff. It's not quiet. London isn't small and quiet. Isn't boring and horrible. Delhi is crowded. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So what about your cities, guys? What adjectives can you use to describe your cities? Tell us in the complete sentences, affirmative and negative.
Oops.
Good stuff.
Delhi is noisy. It isn't modern. Yeah. Delhi is modern, crowded, and chaotic, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, modern is a funny one. I think Delhi is quite an interesting example of a city where we could say some parts of it, I'm sure, are very modern and some parts of it aren't. I think some parts of Delhi are probably very developed, the wealthier areas, and then lots of it.
Modern is kind of quite a catch-all. It's kind of a very broad term, isn't it?
Yeah. Just because we had Vincenzo saying it isn't modern, and then Carmela saying it is modern.
It is modern, yeah.
And both seem correct.
Which are equally valid points.
Yeah.
Lake Como is old, nice, and interesting. It isn't modern, noisy, and very big. Good. Yeah, good stuff. Milan is big and noisy, but it isn't quiet and boring. Yeah, nice. And the connective but is really good in that as well, because it expresses expresses a new a kind of what's the word I'm after?
Contrast.
Contrast, that's what I'm after.
Milano is big, nice, interesting, and noisy. Milano isn't quiet and boring. Good. Lake Como is quiet and big. it isn't dirty. So again, Domenico, like I was saying before, we need the subject it to talk about a city. It isn't dirty. Bergamo is old, interesting and cultural. It isn't modern, noisy and polluted. Lake Como isn't polluted. Lake Como is interesting, quiet, and it isn't modern and polluted. Yeah, great. Good stuff. What about Birmingham, Gabe?
Birmingham. So Birmingham is my hometown, guys. Birmingham is reasonably big. It's quite modern, exciting, but unfortunately quite polluted. Yeah. What is Cambridge like, Emily?
Cambridge is a small city. So it's not small like a village, but it's a small city. It is historical and very interesting. It is a bit boring sometimes. And it's very nice. It's beautiful as well. I think beautiful is not on this list, but it's quite a beautiful place. And Vincenzo says New York is New York. Okay, let's go forward.
What do you do in each of these places? So, interesting point here. Firstly, we have a list of places in the column on the left and a list of activities in the column on the right. And what the question here, as in the example, is asking, what do you do in a cinema? You watch films and you eat popcorn. The you subject here is impersonal form of the you. So it's not asking, what do you personally do? What do you, Vincenzo, personally do, for example? It's asking, what do people do? What activity can people do in a cinema? In Italian, you use the third person for impersonal form. In English, we use the second person. So what do you do in a cinema? You watch films and you eat popcorn.
Yeah. And you can see in the answer we have the same you.
Yeah.
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 I think we have Serena on the line.
Rome is Rome.
Okay, yeah, so we start with cinema. Juliana's brother and his family live in Cambridge. That's good. Cambridge is my hometown, if you guys missed at the beginning. Just looking at Vincenzo's.
I see a doctor when I watch Hatchet. See, look, okay, sorry, just to prove, Emily, you guys are top.
Oh, I see, yes.
Top is used. It is still used. Okay.
Well,
So
like you and Serena anyway.
That's true. Thank you, Serena, for proving my point. So, guys, what do you do in a restaurant? Let's take the second one.
Does Vincenzo mean that he hated the film? I don't know what the Patch Adams movie is.
I'm not sure what that is. No, I don't. We don't get that reference, Vincenzo.
So.
Oh, hang on. It's one of the Robin Williams films, isn't it?
So Donatella said, we go to the swimming pool and we're swimming. Donatella, where do you do that? Not in the cinema and not in a restaurant. Can you tell us where? And guys, from everybody, we want complete sentences.
Yeah, and just to reiterate, we've got the right subject being used by most students, but in the answer to what do you do in the restaurant, because it's this impersonal form, we're going to start with you again.
Yeah.
What do you do at the beach? You sunbathe and you go for a swim. We're always going to start this question with you.
Yeah. And to Vincenzo asked a question to Carmela. And Vincenzo, be careful. We need to say, we need the auxiliary verb. Like on the slide, what do you do in a cinema? You would say, Carmela, what film do you watch at the cinema?
So with the example that Florian's given us, this would be starting with the impersonal form here. What do you do at the restaurant? You eat dinner and you drink some, okay, just a quick note there, wine is uncountable. So we would just say drink some wine. But this is the correct form of the impersonal. This is the correct response using the impersonal form here. You eat dinner. You can eat dinner and you can drink some wine.
Just like Gabriella's sentence, which is great. At the restaurant, you eat dinner. Good.
Yeah, excellent.
What do you do in a castle, guys? What do you do in a castle? And careful with the pronunciation here. It's not castel, but castle. The T is silent, mute. Oh, a lot of wine is good, Vincenzo.
A lot of wine is perfectly correct. Yeah.
At the restaurant, you can eat dinner or lunch. You can go for a Christmas or Easter party. Good. Yeah.
You can go for a Christmas or Easter party. Yeah, good. Yeah. Yeah, that's lovely, Francesca. And then we have one from Pasquale. Yeah, you eat dinner. Exactly. Domenico, you drink red wine. Okay. Because we keep it in the impersonal form here for Domenico, because we keep it. You would say you drink red wine with your girlfriend. Maybe we would keep the impersonal form of the you, so we would say with your girlfriend. Because if you say you drink red wine with my girlfriend, it implies that everybody drinks wine with your girlfriend, Domenico, which is probably not what you want to say.
I have fun on the beach and have a drink. Good, Sabrina. Fun in English is uncountable. So we would just say, I have fun, or I have some fun on the beach and have a drink. Very nice. Florian, I can't find the answer to your question for castle. You can invent. I can see some possible. Oh God. Okay.
There we go. We've got a nice answer for instance, from Gabriella for that one.
Yeah.
At the castle, you look at paintings and study history. Yeah. But yeah, as Emily said, you can invent with these ones.
What do you do at school? What do you do at my English school, guys? Let me type this. Great, Francesca, that's perfect. And you can buy some souvenirs. We need an S because after some, we need the plural. You can buy some souvenirs. Great. I study English at Maya's. Great. Maya's. So we still want you though, guys. So in Maya's, you study English. Good, Pasquale, exactly. At English school, you study English. You can learn things. I just want to look at Sabrina's sentence. So in English, unlike in Italian, exercise usually means a physical activity, like a sport. We would say in Maya's, you practice. When we talk about a skill, like a language or a musical instrument, we don't exercise, but we practice. So in Maya's, you practice and you study English. This is the verb. We don't use exercise as a verb. I might have confused people. However, in Carmela's sentence, exercise is a noun. In this case, oh, I've tied myself up. Okay, when we talk about one particular activity or grammar exercise, then in this case, it's correct. When it's countable, it's correct. So Juliana, we would need to say, in my English school, you can do exercises. The noun should be countable because if it's singular, uncountable, it refers to sport, physical exercise. Let me write this.
Mm-hmm.
Oops, I can't look. Thanks.
And just while Emily's typing that out, remember, guys, for all of these questions, the impersonal form, what do you do at Maya's? You study English. You meet English people. You do English exercises. We need that you form when it's as an answer to this question. Let's try one more. What do you do at the park? Usually, not right now.
Do you think that's clear, Gabe?
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's clear. Yeah.
Okay, so Florin.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. I do. You can play. You can do. Do you want to take that, seeing as you were doing exercise?
Yeah. So Florin, we've got here. If we look, you've put you can do exercises, but in this case, we would say you can do exercise. So uncountable, singular. And in this case, it means a physical activity or sport. So if you go for a walk in the park or for a run, then you do exercise. But when you do an English lesson like this, you do exercises. It's a confusing difference in English, I know. Good stuff. At the park, I play sport or read a book. Very nice. You can play, you can relax, meet some people. Yeah. Great.
I don't know if I've tried to labour the point too much with the impersonal form. Having difficulty.
People still aren't doing it though. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Again, so this example's fantastic, Francesco. At the park, you can play, you can relax, and meet some people. Again, Francesco's put this in the impersonal form of the you. This is the activity that you can do at the park. At the park, you can play, you can relax, and meet some people. We want the impersonal form of the you again. The activities that you've given us have all been great and good sentences. It's just Francesco's done very well to put the answer in the impersonal form of the you, which is what we want in this answer.
Like here.
Yeah. Hello, Virginia. Virginia's one of ours.
So Virginia, at the park, you can walk or play volleyball with your friends. Good. We're talking in general, not you individually, but what do you do in general? What do people do?
Okay, I'm gonna maybe just type that in.
Yeah.
Maybe because if it's written out, it might be.
Let's do one more, guys. And this time, everybody should say you, impersonal you, not what I do, but what you do. Quello che si fa.
Yeah.
So what do you do in a museum?
It's difficult to express this in writing without using you. Again, impersonal form to express the activity.
You can study history. Very good. Oh, the camera is freezing. Maybe we were just staying still.
That's excellent, Juliana. In the museum, you can look at paintings and study history. And that's absolutely right there, Virginia. Yeah, at the museum, you can admire the art. Yeah. At the museum, you can look at paintings. Excellent, Pasquale.
Yeah, good.
Yes, excellent. In the gym. In the gym you don't enter, it's boring. Good.
Good stuff.
Admire. Sorry.
Did we do it at the same time?
Admire.
Ah!
Hey.
Admire.
That is correct, Vincenzo, yes. You in person.
Okay. We need to stop, guys. But really good examples, especially at the end there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, great. Okay. Bye, everyone.
All right. Bye, guys.